Hey everybody, this is Curtis from PSN Stores. Today we're looking at Stealth Inc. 2, a clone of games. So, I'm pretty far into this. I was hoping that I could start a new file to kind of show some of the new things that are in this game without showing like late game stuff, but I didn't really see that option to do so, and I don't want to delete my current progress. So here's what we're gonna do. If you played Stealth Inc., the original game, it's a puzzle game where you would go through test chambers and complete different puzzles, and it would progress. You'd get new abilities and things like that. There was also community levels. You could make your own levels and upload them and share them with other players, which we'll check out a little bit later on. One of the big new things in Stealth Inc. 2 is that you have an overworld that you traverse in between test chambers. So I'm gonna show that at the end of the video, because it is a very late game area, and so if you don't want to see that stuff, then you can kind of stop watching then. But I do still want to show it just to show people what that is like, because it's a pretty big new, it's a big addition, because in the original game it was just like you were selecting levels from a menu. So it's pretty substantial. So this is kind of the layout of the overworld that you're in. So you have these different chapters where you will go through 8 different stages, and then each area has a specific new ability that you get. And so those 8 stages in these different chapters are all specifically designed around that ability. So we're gonna go to this first one. And it does look like there are 2 other maybe extra challenges. I'm assuming that might be for getting all of the clones in each of the levels. But we're gonna jump in and we'll do the first few. And again, I don't want to show too many late game puzzles either, just so I don't spoil some of the other abilities you get, because there are some pretty cool things that you get later on in the game. And again, if you've played the first Stealth Inc., you know that it is very, they've got a lot of, I don't know if, like, snark is the right word. It reminds me a lot of Portal, and that GLaDOS would talk to you as you were doing puzzles, and she just had a very strong attitude to her. And so this game has a very similar, there's actually a human who you see throughout the game who is kind of running these tests on these different clones, and he very much does not want you to escape, whereas you are trying to set your clones free. And so you see this text that is projected onto the walls, that is him talking to you throughout many of the different puzzles in the game. So that was a very simple one. I want to say, I think let's try and get to one that we actually have some abilities here. Alright, so a lot of this is, you're stepping on switches to activate certain things. Like here, the steam comes up, and that means that we are invincible to this turret, so we can jump over here, we can activate the computer, and then we can jump up here, and because we are obscured by the steam, we can get through without getting killed. And so right here, if we activate that, obviously the camera sees us, laser comes over, kills you, so you need to go over here. And so there's if we step on this, that opens the door, but we can't we can't do anything there. So if we activate this laser, that brings the fan closer. So that fan will hit the switch, and that'll blow the steam over there. So we can go over to this computer, activate that computer, move on with the level. now we've got... What we're going to do, we're going to build up the steam here. Once enough of it builds up, we can hit this switch, this fan will blow the steam over. And we should be good to go. So... Yeah, so like the collectibles here is each stage is gonna have a clone that you can rescue. You don't have to, but it does help. So I think I need to. Nope. There we go. It might be the second world that I start getting abilities. I wanna at least show some of the first ones you get, because that's where things get a little bit more complex. All right, so that's built up enough, and usually you can tell, you can see the sensor goes from green to like a transparent color. That way you can tell when you can be seen and when you can't. They also do a good job. Your eyes glow certain colors depending on when you are visible, when you're slightly visible, and when you can't be seen. So that's kind of, you know, very early on. Let's go here. Let's do... Alright, so the Inflatomate is the first of a number of different abilities that you get. So what I can do is, you see I have this trajectory here that I'm moving with the right analog stick. If I press R2, I can throw this, and then I hit L2 and that he'll inflate. And so that I can use that to do a number of different things. Also, I can also like have him move slowly with the right analog stick, or I can push him around. Another thing I can do, so I hit L2 and X at the same time. Gives me like a high jump. So the blue barriers you saw before, when I cross over those, that'll remove any of the extra things I have left behind as far as my power-ups and abilities are concerned. And then the green barriers, I can't even get into those. So in this case, I had to throw my guy up there to activate that switch. And then I can bring him back, and I can high jump over these. Oh, you know what? So another thing you could do with your Inflatomate, so you have these guys, so obviously I don't want to get seen by this dude, and I need to find a way around him. So I can do that. And he can block these barriers. I can push him over here. Or do that. Get up there, activate this computer. Alright, so that's some of the early stuff. I'll show, let's see. I'm trying to think of another good one that I can show here. I think some of my times on these are high because I just loved it sitting for a while. Oh man. Alright, yeah. So, just so you know, this is a pretty late game puzzle. So the floor tiles there will activate sound, which if these turrets here, it's not a good thing. But with this ability, I can clone myself. And you'll notice there's a crown above one of the characters. That is kind of your main character. So that'll be the one that can throw the little disc to make a new clone. And that's how it works with any of your new abilities. If there is like potential for multiple characters or any sort of weird things going on, there's always one that you can control yourself. Like you're gonna control, like for the clone, for example, you're controlling both of them at the same time. But there was one specific character that can throw or that can activate your different power-ups. So that one actually was pretty easy compared to a lot of the stuff I've been doing lately, but that should give you a good demonstration of some of the other things that you may get that you get a little bit later on. So, I mean, this far I think I have 5 different tools that I can use, and the way it works is basically when you get a power up like the Inflatomate, for instance, so you get it, and like I've said before, the 8 stages within that chapter are dedicated to that ability. But once you complete those 8 stages, you will then unlock that ability to use in this overworld. And so some of the areas in this overworld you might not be able to access until you have that ability. That might sound like it's kind of like a Metroidvania style of game. It's not quite that. There's not a lot of there are things that you can collect within the world, but there's not a lot of it, and there's not really like a lot of backtracking either. Mainly when you do get a new ability, you're going to see it in the overworld just in the way that it blocks your progression to the next area. So it's not so much your backtracking, it's just you're going to need this ability and it's going to be combined with the other things you have, and that's how you're going to progress to the next chapter. So I'm going to go ahead and last I checked there were no community levels. I'm going to assume there probably aren't because this game is not out yet, but it is out this Tuesday, if you're wondering. So, and I believe Noah is working on the review. Hopefully that'll be up by the time the game is out. So, I mean, we can do a new level. We can choose the size of the level. Hit the touchpad. Here's our controls. And let's make something real, just very simple here. Let's do, okay, so we got that. I don't know, let's add some walls, I guess, or some barriers. It's gonna be very simple. We're not looking for anything too crazy here. I wish I could just like hold down X and just kind of drag this over. But all right, let's add some, I don't know. So there's like some decals you can add if you want to add like blood stains and other things. There's your tiles. You can set our exit point to be over here. Set our start point. I think our exit's floating. Let's see. We can set a spotlight if we want. Not sure how we rotate this. Okay, so if I hold L1, I can change like the range of the light. Here we go. All right. Let's just I'll put this in the corner. Here's what we're looking for. So yeah, I mean, this is this type of game that you have all the tools available to you that the developer had to make your own stages. I'm sure that if you put a whole lot of time into it, you could probably do some pretty crazy stuff here. But I guess is there a way to test this? Nope. Okay. Wait a minute. Your unlockables that you're getting are different costumes. So this is just the one I'm using right now. Something went wrong there. So there's probably... Here we... Okay. So I need to actually make collision here. Now can I... Hold on. So you can, you know, you can do layers and all sorts of crazy stuff. Aha. Wait. So maybe if I hold L1, can I... I'm probably missing something, but I kind of wish I could just drag these. Anyways, that is the level editor. I am terrible at these kind of things. I always try to do something, and then if I spent some more time, maybe I could make something cool. But yeah, so like, you know, I'm sure people will make some pretty cool stuff, but maybe it might take some time to do. So let's exit out here. Alright, so at this point, I am going to go into my game just to show a little bit of what the overworld looks like. If you don't want to see that, because right now it's going to load me into a late game area. If you don't want to see that, thanks for watching. The game is out this week. As I said, Noah's working on the review right now. We're hoping to have it up by the time the game launches this Tuesday. But if not, it'll be up as soon as we can get it up. And that's all I got. So I'm going to show this late game area just to kind of show the overworld off. You can keep watching if you want. If not, that's okay. Alright, so overworld. Here is your map. As you see, the numbers are kind of where each of the test chambers are. For the most part, they're... I mean, as you get later on, they do kind of scatter. But as you see, like the first area, they're almost all right next to each other. And then as you go further, they progress. So I'm in what I believe is the final area of the game. Let's kind of... I'm hoping I could maybe back up a little bit. Let's see. So these are one of the collectibles in the game. It's your costumes, essentially. So you'll have enemies, you know, scoping around the area. So we can... Oh no. This game is really good about checkpointing you a lot. Most of the time when you die, you're going to respawn very close to where you died at. Whether that's in test chambers or in the overworld itself. It's pretty rare that you'll die in an area that is far away from where you were. I think my only real complaint is sometimes I have an issue with like the trajectory. Let's see. Actually, probably lay this down here. Don't spawn him yet. Alright. No, I've already screwed up. Nope. Alright, well anyways, that is Stealth Inc. 2, a game of clones. It is out this week on PS4, and I believe the Vita. I think it's cross-buy and everything like that. I don't know what the price is. But again, our review should be up. If it's not up on the day that the game comes out, it should be up sometime this week, hopefully very soon. But thank you for watching, and that's all I've got. So there's going to be a ton of videos coming up this week on the site for a lot of games that are out this week, and I think maybe some other stuff. It depends. I know we got a video for Bastion. We've got a video for Tower of Guns, a number of other things. So thanks for watching. Be sure to check those out, and I'll see you guys next time.